Hey, it's Chris, the Supply Chain Doctor, bringing you the Supply Chain Minute. At the Supply Chain Doctor, we're on a mission of helping people preparing for an ASCM exam to increase their likelihood of passing the exam in pursuit of becoming a better supply chain professional. Today, I decided to get out of the office and come down to the beaches of Northwest Florida. You can see here, I'm nestled between the sandy beach and a beautiful state park right behind me where you can enjoy bird watching, surf fishing, kayaking, or just simply relaxing. One thing I like about the area is we have a great population of sea turtles that nest in the late summer and early fall seasons. If you're interested in coming down and checking out any of this beautiful nature, give me a shout, send me an email, and I'll connect you with if you can see that building behind me, a unit penthouse 16, and it's this pinnacle port in the Northwest Florida beaches. Today we're going to be talking about customer relationship management as a key concept. I'm sorry, I've got my notes here, and it's a bit breezy on the beach. CRM is relevant and important for anyone studying the CSCP materials. It's relevant, but not necessarily important for people studying for CLTD. And it's not relevant or important at all for anybody pursuing CPIM. Customer relationship management is more of a holistic view, has a holistic view of the supply chain. So it's not really focused in on one area. Hence the importance with the CSCP materials. And I think if you studied any of the materials, you'll understand how those three exams interact with each other. As supply chains have evolved, more emphasis has been put on trading partner relationships. And at a high level, there are basically three primary trading partnerships. Those are customers who purchase the goods or receive the goods, suppliers who you're trying to get raw materials in from, and carriers, kind of moving products between the different trading partners within what I call a supply chain network. So that's the emphasis on customer relationship management, is trying to get those customers closer into your organizations. At first, I was surprised CRM would be an important part of the CSCP materials, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized the error of my original thinking. When people ask me, what is a supply chain? I typically say, have you ever bought anything? And when they say yes, I say, well, you are the reason for the supply chain. If it wasn't for people buying, having demand for goods and items and products that they don't have access to, there would really be no need or reason for the supply chain. I'll often, when people ask me, why does the supply chain exist? I think the best answer is essentially to satisfy customer demand. And just think about that. It's more people think about it from a retail perspective, but it also applies to anything where something needs to be obtained and delivered and you don't have it nearby. Early in my career, I mistakenly viewed CRM as basically a technology or an application. Early on, I was focused on things like warehouse management, transportation management, and those systems and technologies and how they would help improve businesses and process flows. Well, Apex has actually corrected me in my thinking and says, let's step back and take again, I'm shuffling my papers here for you and I'm getting closer to this area, it's called Phillips Inlet, so you can see it's another beautiful geography that we have here. But Apex, and this is a key concept if you're studying, views CRM as more of a holistic process. It's not necessarily a technology, it's more of a philosophy. And I'm just going to read here what exactly Apex ASCM calls CRM. It's sorry, I got to get my papers squared away here. A marketing philosophy based on putting the customer first, and that's important. That's something we should always be thinking about, customer first. It involves collection and analysis of information designed for sales and marketing decision support to understand and support customer needs. And that's important because the more we understand about our partners, the more efficient we can have our supply chains. In general, CRM is a technology, but it's really just a small part of the overall philosophy of taking a holistic look at your customers. CRM will have things like Salesforce automation, things like marketing automation. It'll have decision support tools. It'll have customer data warehouses, everything that you need to help you become a better supplier for your customers. Part of CRM might be segmenting your customers as well. And when I say segmenting, it's understanding that not all customers are created the same. Some might want next day delivery. Some might want, they don't care if it takes a week. They may want products delivered in smaller batches. They may just want things delivered on specific schedules. So whatever it is, you have to understand what your customers' expectations are. Some customers will want closer relationships, maybe longer term relationships. Some customers will want just simple transactional relationships where they're just going to call you and tell you what they want, when they want it. You don't really have any idea when they're going to call. So that's more of a transactional relationship. So understanding what types of customers you have. The other thing is understanding your customer revenues. If you're receiving a large majority of your revenue from a small percentage of your customers, maybe you need to put a little bit more emphasis on those customers rather than trying to provide the same service level to every customer that you have. So in those terms, and I got to be careful here, I'm getting over to the water and the sand, which gets a little bit softer, but I'm sinking a little bit. But you can see here, when you start segmenting your customers by revenues to the company, you can start to then begin offering different service levels. So there's something that CRM applications will do is offer. It'll be like you can break out and say what 20% of my customers will provide probably the top 80% of my revenues. In that case, you can then begin to start focusing in on those 20%, making sure that you deliver excellent service, find out exactly what they want, and that's a key concept in customer service. You may also hear, if you've been studying for the APIX exams or ASC exams, that concept of 80%, 80-20. That's a Pareto analysis. Again, it's a very important concept for pretty much any exam that you're studying for. But in general, you want to be able to define which customers you should be focusing in on, and the idea is really understanding and developing those longer-term, more impactful relationships that you have. Because as supply chains have evolved, it's really come down to what are the relationships and how are we managing those. So another goal of CRM is developing what we call lifetime customers, and that is the ability to lower your sales cost or your transaction cost by focusing in on customers that are going to be with you for a long time. As you will read in the learning system, the cost of obtaining a customer is probably going to be pretty high. So if you can minimize those costs by having lifetime customers, you're going to be a little bit further ahead of the curve. The key thing to remember is CRM, it's more than just a technology, which I thought. There are things like Siebel, back in the day, Siebel, now it's Salesforce, HubSpot, those applications, but it's much, much more than that. It's what are you doing with those applications to help you drive a holistic customer experience. So if you think about CRM more as a philosophy, focusing on the customer first, you're going to be ahead of the curve in terms of answering and being better prepared for the ASCM exams. So the more you know about your customers, the better chance you'll have of creating a more efficient supply chain and delivering high levels of customer service. If you're interested in learning more about supplier and customer relationships, check out the interview that I did with Dr. Doug Lambert. Next, let's walk through a couple practice questions to give you a better understanding of customer relationship management and kind of the way that I think through some of these things. As I had mentioned, customer relationship management, or CRM, is relevant and important to CSCP. It's okay to understand. I guess it's relevant to CLTD, and it's not relevant at all to CPIM. For the definition again, it's a marketing philosophy based on putting the customer first. It involves the collection and analysis of information designed for sales and marketing decision support to understand and support existing and potential customer needs. It's always important to come back to the definition. Next, let's walk through some of these questions, give you an idea on maybe how I approach these, and I've got some rules of thumb that we'll do a different session on as well. But first, the software-enabled process that collects and seeks to understand customer needs based on previous orders is A, root cause analysis, B, customer relationship management, C, house of quality, or D, quality function deployment. Let me get my marker here to make, sorry, it's a little bit slow for me, so I can do a little bit of writing. So the key thing I'm looking at it is software enabled. It's enabled, not a software solution, but it's a process, and that's the key thing there. It's kind of, this is an easy one to start out with. Understanding customer needs based on previous orders. Root cause analysis is like a just-in-time, a lean process, trouble analysis tool that you may learn in other courses. House of quality is again a just-in-time total quality management concept, and quality function deployment again is more around processes in manufacturing. So as you might imagine, customer relationship management is the correct answer. The next one, compared to mass media marketing, which you can read about in the learning system, CRM has the advantage of allowing the organization to. So we're comparing what advantage does CRM have over mass media marketing, where mass media marketing tends to just be a shotgun approach out to the market. A, compete for customers based on service. B, reach a larger number of potential customers. C, reduce inventory to improve cash flow. Or D, focus on attracting new customers. Well, I think they kind of both focus on attracting new customers, but that could also be done with mass media marketing, so I'm going to take that one off the table. Reduce inventory to improve cash flows. I don't think really either one of those does anything to inventory. Reach a larger number of potential customers. I think mass media marketing, if you understand mass media marketing, you would understand that it probably gets to more targets than just customer relationship, which tends to focus. So I'm going to say that one is not an advantage. And so obviously that leaves us with the process of elimination. A, compete for customers based on service. A few more. A main benefit of using customer relationship management is maximization of on-time delivery, minimization of product returns, identification of customers with high lifetime value, or D, finding new markets for existing products and services. Well, this is kind of a tricky one. I think it will help with on-time deliveries of the right products and the right customers that you're looking for. But I don't know that that's probably the main benefit. Minimizing product returns, probably not. Although it could help depending on how your CRM is structured. Identification of customers with high lifetime value. Lifetime value talks about lifetime customers. So I like that one. Finding new markets for existing products and services. I don't think that's applicable. Finding new markets, that's probably more of a marketing or marketing research concept. So I'm going to take that one off the books as well. And we'll go with identification of customers with high lifetime value. So one of the key things, the goals we're trying to do with CRM is create lifetime customers and loyal customers, and that creates lifetime value. Next, business strategy is composed of a variety of activities. Which of the following is an organized effort to gather information about its service areas or customers? Now, we're talking about customers here, so focusing on those. So let's walk through this. Marketing is a business strategy, but is focused on discussing service areas or customers? I would say no. It's just in general telling people who you are. Market research, that's a good idea. You're doing research on services and areas and customers, so I'm not going to eliminate that one yet. Customer relationship management, I think that has potential as well, but the overall concept of CRM is focusing on customers that you have, not really going after those customers. I'll leave it out. Data management, that's a part of it, but it's not really related to overall business strategy. So if you start looking at identifying new service areas or customers, that's probably going to be more to do with market research. So that's when there. And we put this one in here just as a little bit of a trick. So it's not always going to be the answer of the CRM that you think it's going to be, but that one might have required a little bit more learning or reading. CRM can be used to identify and nurture loyal customers. And we've talked about that before. What is the benefit of cultivating customer loyalty? A, loyal customers are less susceptible to churn, allowing the company to avoid the cost of winning them back. So basically it's saying keeping customers longer is less expensive. Loyal customers have low service expectations and are inexpensive to support. So let me find my marker here. Low service levels. Customers, just because they're loyal, I don't think that's true. And they could actually be more expensive to support, but you're willing to do it if they're more profitable. Loyal customers are easy to service and require minimal attention. They may not be easy to service. You may know what their service requirements are, but they may not be easy. And they probably will not require minimal attention unless that's what they want. So I'm taking those off. Other than increasing your company's revenues, there is no benefit. That's a throwaway answer, I think. So I don't like that. There's always going to be a benefit to doing something. So I'm going to go with the answer A. You can see loyal customers are less susceptible to churn, etc. The other thing I like about this, and you'll see this in test-taking strategies, is sorry, my phone pinged on me there. I like to choose the answer that's the longest one if I'm just doing a spitball guess. So that falls into that category. Next one, fill in the blanks. Customer relationship management is blank, supported by blank. Customer relationship management, if you look back at the definition, is a marketing or management philosophy. And I mentioned to you it is supported by a technology. So knowing that, I can come down and look, a marketing management philosophy supported by a software tool. I think that's the right answer. I'm going to look at the others. I always look at the other answers. A software tool supported by a marketing management philosophy, that is not the case. I told you before I made that mistake early on. A warranty issue supported by product returns, not really focused on that. That's more returns management. And CRM is a order entry tool supported by sales. It's not really an order entry tool. That would be order management system, so I know that's not going to be correct. So I come down, and that's basically the definition of CRM. A couple more. ADG company is in the process of improving its customer relationship management system. The company does not have a current system in place. What activity should ADG perform? Well, this gets down into some critical thinking. What do you do when you put together a project? You've got specific steps. Let's walk through these. You need to write and approve a project plan. I think that makes sense. You need to have a plan, and it needs to be approved. You need to select the most popular CRM system on the market. It may be popular on the market, but it may not be the best for your business, so I'm going to scratch that. Hire a consulting company to help in the implementation. As a next step, that's probably not true because we can't implement something we haven't selected yet. And form a process improvement team to improve the CRM. That's possible, but I'm going to say at this point we don't need to start assigning resources until we have identified and approved a project plan. Next, the scope of customer relationship management includes purchase planning, spending management, sourcing, sales operations analysis, customer information dissemination, sales and operations planning, transportation and warehouse management, MRP, distribution requirements planning, and sales operations planning. Well, because I know supply chain management, some of these things, they're all supply chain components, but there's only one that's going to be a good answer. Purchasing, planning, and spend management, that's more related to suppliers and sourcing. I'm going to X that one out. Sales and operations planning and customer information dissemination, that is pretty close. I'm going to guess that's it. Sales and operations planning, transportation planning, and warehouse management, those are different applications that would support a CRM. And MRP, DRP, and sales and operations planning are, again, processes and systems, but they're related to a different component than customers. So let's focus down, and the answer is sales operations analysis and customer information dissemination. Last one, CRM is an important concept in supply chain management. Which of the following are activities found in CRM? Use a standard operation procedure and manage all customers the same way. Attract and retain customers and identify their potential needs. Be at the right place, the right product, at the right time, and write a product and service agreement and coerce the customers. This one to me is pretty easy. Just looking at the scope, standard operating procedures, and manage all customers the same way. I'm going to say I'm eliminating that because we don't manage all the customers the same way. You do the Pareto analysis that I spoke about and manage by specific customers, what they want, when they want it. Attract and retain customers and identify their potential needs. I like that answer. Looking at the other ones, be at the right place with the right product at the right time. That will be the result if you have good CRM, but That's more around transportation and operations. I'm going to eliminate that. Write a project and service agreement and coerce the customer into approving it. I would never, this to me is a negative answer. I would never do anything to coerce customers. So looking through the logic there, attract and retain customers and identify their potential needs. Hope this helps you better understand customer relationship management as a key term, and good luck on your studies.